This is one of my favourite tables in the shop at the moment, and it's going to be in our upcoming exhibition made for travel. Um, and I love it because it's just fantastic design. Um, it's a really practical piece. It's much later than uh, most campaign furniture items that we get. I would say this is going to be mid 20th century. Our cut-off point is normally around about 1910. Um, and so this was made for a different market. It probably wasn't made for uh, the military, an army officer travelling, but it's certainly inspired by the great campaign furniture of the 19th century. And in a minute, I'll show you some images of the closest table that I found to it. Now, I'll be honest, we're not experts on mid 20th century furniture, far from it. Um, and I kind of feel that this was made by a good designer. Everything about it tells you that the quality of it, the make, the materials selected, etc., etc. Who that designer is, I've got no idea. I've spoken to two or three um, antique dealer friends who deal in that period, and they haven't been able to come up with a name. Um, we're not even sure if it's Italian, Scandinavian, or American. I kind of feel that it's Scandinavian, but for no good reason, only other than a gut feeling. So anyway, about the table. So it's made to completely flat pack collapse. Um, this hardened glass top we've made for it. Originally, it would have had a glass top like this. I think that if we just remove it, originally it probably would have had something similar to this slatted chessboard, which folds up rather neatly but bigger, which would roll out and then sit on, covering the whole top. So you can quickly dismantle it all very easily and it'll pack down to nothing. So let's dismantle this table now. The top frame comes off and that's made so it'll fold nice and neatly. And then the base also folds. Before we do that, just take a note at the legs compared to the arms that support the top. They're a little bit longer, so the base is wider. So you've got really good stability with this table. Now it all works on this wonderful bit of brass engineered fitting to the center. So basically it packs down to a very small size. So if we come in, you can see that each strut of the top support and leg is fitted into this highly engineered brass sleeve, and that is cut at an angle so that it'll fold down and hold its position to support, and likewise the legs. So that's a really great bit of metalwork right there. Very well thought out, very well designed. To the top, you've got these inset brass pins that holes to the frame fit into. And while we look at the frame a little bit closer, you can see that it's got these two raised edges to hold the top in place, but also look at these brass corner fittings, and they're shaped so that it's far narrower here. It's the thickness of the bottom bar, much wider at the end, so it actually stops when it hits the end section there, so you can fix the position of it. There's never going to be any leeway in which position it goes into when it's fully unfolded, because you've got that brass stop. So great little bit of attention to detail, which just makes the whole thing work. Right, so I said I would show you an earlier example, which is the closest thing I've come to in design. And we're going to look in Nick's wonderful book, Nick Brower's wonderful book, British Campaign Furniture, which came out over 21 years ago. Very difficult to get hold of. At the moment, it's the only book on campaign furniture, but watch this space. And in a few years' time, hopefully, you will see another one. So if we come in and you look at this page, you can see something which is similar in look, but it's different. Different in that the two halves, the top supports and the legs, unscrew and separate to reduce in size even further. And you can see the top is rather like the chessboard I showed you. It is slatted and it rolls up, and it's double-sided. It's also got game markers to the top, so you can either have a beige surface or wooden surface. And Nick puts that table at around about 1860, I think. Never ever seen one of these tables in the flesh. Would love to get one. I think it's a cracking design. I've wanted one ever since this book has come out. So, this is a mid-20th century rosewood folding table. It's a great design, beautifully engineered, great choice of materials for it, and very well made. The original top section is missing. As I said, it may have been a slatted board like this chest, but what we've done is we've had a piece of hardened smoked glass cut for it, and that fits in very neatly. And actually, the bonus of this glass top is that it allows you to see the wonderful engineered brass fitting to the centre. So, mid-20th century rosewood folding table, and just what a great design.